How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. So in today's video, we're going to be back working on the 05 Neon SRT-4 and we are going to be working on the engine. We're going to be doing a full timing belt and water pump service to it, and then we're going to start getting it reinstalled in the vehicle, and by the end of this video, it should be running and driving under its own power for the first time. So let's jump right into it, get that new timing belt and water pump installed, and start putting this motor back in the car. Got the crank pulley set at top dead center, as well as both cam gears with the arrows pointing up and the notches on each gear aligning. Alrighty guys, so we got all the new timing components installed and we've got everything timed. We've got the tensioner set to where it's supposed to be. We got the spring tang lined up with the locating window in there. We've got the cam gears aligned at the top, got straight line all the way across, and we've got the crank sprocket aligned with the mark on the oil pump. So this thing is in time. I'm gonna spin it over 2 times as the repair procedure recommends. Make sure we don't feel any binding or anything out of the ordinary when we're rotating it. And if it feels good, we're good to start putting all of the covers back on and get all the accessories put back on this motor. Got the new differential cover installed and torqued. These are torqued to 45 pounds all the way around. We got the intermediate shaft reinstalled as well, and you can clearly see why we replaced the old differential cover from where this came over and hit the subframe when the transmission shifted over from the impact. There is a crack in the back of it. It's not too noticeable from the rear. You can see the dent, but the crack is barely visible right there on the corner. But if you look inside, you can see the crack very clearly right there, and that's where our fluid leak was coming from. Guys, everything is back together with the exception of the accessory drive belt for the power steering, because I don't have the whole circuit hooked up yet, as the cooler is underneath and needs to bolt to the subframe. I do have a new pressure switch for the rack, which goes right there. That was leaking out the connector. I'm going to install that before the subframe goes back in the car, and I'm going to get this thing started for the first time now, just minus those 2 accessories, and see how she runs. We got the coolant vacuum filled, and we got full fresh oil in there. I've already primed the system. I pulled the fuel pump relay, got oil running through everything, should have oil pressure up to the turbo already, so it should be good to start after being dry for all these months. Got the reservoir for the coolant topped off, got the washer fluid topped off. Everything should be ready to go, and I also filled the transmission with ATF4 and the limited slip additive from Mopar. Now it's time to see how this thing runs. It ran before I did the timing belt job. Let's see if she runs now. So guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. We're wrapping up on the drivetrain portion of the SRT-4 rebuild. We got all of that reinstalled. Engine and transmission are back in the car. It fired up on the first try, and it sounds great. It idles perfectly. It runs super smooth like a 36,000 mile engine should. I am super happy with how it's turning out so far. You saw we took it down the main little driveway of the shop out front for its first tiny test drive, and it did really well. The shifter feels good, the clutch feels good, it drives smooth. I have no complaints at the moment. So far, it's doing really well. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you're as equally as excited as I am that SRT-4 is driving under its own power for the first time since I picked it up. If you guys want to see more of this video, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with a friend if you know somebody that likes neons, likes Mopars, even the SRT-4. Please feel free to drop a comment down below if there's something you'd like to see or any questions you have about the build. And as always, you guys, have an awesome day.